So, is the stock market about to crash? A lot of people are wondering when we're going to see that market correction. As the stock market has consistently gone up, reaching for new all time highs, I do believe we are due for a market correction. In terms of that market correction, it can potentially begin this Friday. So, within this video, I'm going to walk you through my trading plan, my trading opportunity on why I'm planning to take a decent sized position on some SPY put options. In terms of the put options, I'm going to be going with short term ones that expire this Friday. I'm also going to be going with ones that expire on September 7th, and I'm also going to be going with ones that expire towards the end of the month on September 24th. So let's get right into it. So historically, the stock market has been proven to have its worst month, its worst performing month on September, and it is currently September 1st. And what I want to show you is this current pattern that I've spotted that nobody's talking about. And in terms of this trade, it is based on a pattern where history can potentially, repeat itself. And with this particular strategy, with the rarity of this situation, right, we're talking a potential 500 to 1,000% profit return with the options that I'm going to be trading. And if this situation, if this history were to repeat itself, right, you have to understand your win rate does not matter. And as long as you're cutting your losses at around 50% on the contract, and as long as you understand a strategy behind risk management, so like for example, I typically don't lose on my trades 3 times in a row. So if I'm on a losing streak and if I'm on loss number 2 after loss number 2, what I'll look to do is I'll look to scale. I'll look to add a little bit more on those contracts. And if I'm cutting losses at 50%, and on this particular situation, this rarity, this opportunity, we're aiming for 5 to 10x, the win rate isn't going to matter. And you'll recoup all the losses and you'll make so much more than you lost. So you have to understand this isn't about being right. This is about taking a shot when the opportunity is there. And what I'm telling you is this is a phenomenal opportunity. So let's get into this history. Let's get into this pattern. You can see right here, if we go back into late August of 2020, SPY is ramping up, right? And it's reaching for new all-time highs. Focus on the key whole round number, 350s, that key round number, new all-time highs. Here we are, September 2nd, SPY gaps up. Look what happens after that. It is nothing but downhill for a straight month. It goes from $358 to 75 cents all the way down to $319.80. The market collapsed. It crashed about a little bit over 10% from its all-time highs. So what I'm telling you is imagine if you were to buy some short-term put options. You can go with short-term put options that expired on Friday. And on this particular day, if you were to do that, you would have made easily 1,500% plus. But in this particular situation, there's different ways you can play it. You can go with short-term ones, like I said, on Friday, September 7th, right? Because it even crashed more for the short term. Look at what happened on September 4th. And then you can also go with towards the end of the month. Me personally, I'm going to be going with all 3. And guys, the put options are so cheap now. SPY has been rallying like crazy, consistently reaching for new all-time highs, consistently having huge green days. These put options, they really can't go down much lower. And what I'm hoping for tomorrow is I'm hoping for this gap up. You see this pattern? This pattern is so similar in the timing and the key whole round number. Like now we're in the 450s. In September 2020, we were in the 350s. It's having the same uptrend pattern, very similar candlesticks showing signs of a potential top, and the date would be the exact same. So if we see a nice green day on SPY tomorrow, what I'm planning to do is, and the market typically goes down on Friday as well. This is going to be a very lucrative, rare opportunity. So in terms of the short-term riskier play with much higher percentage return, I'm looking to go with SPY put options. You can go, the in-the-money ones are extremely cheap, very lucrative. You can also play out of the money. Me personally, I'm going to be playing both. And in terms of the contracts, like I said, September 3rd, September 7th, and September 24th. I'm going to be buying all 3 tomorrow. But in order for me to really buy those tomorrow, I would want SPY to be up, and then I'll start accumulating them towards the middle of the day at around 12, most likely towards the middle end of the day into the close. That's when I'll start accumulating my position. It's going to be a decent sized position, and I'm putting in what I'm willing to lose, 50% of what I put in. Because if I'm wrong, it's going to be like a 50% loss. If I'm right, it's going to be it could be a 5 to 10x plus return on these particular contracts. But guys, just look at how extremely cheap these particular contracts are. Even the slightly out of the money, like the 450 strike is currently sitting at like 30 cents, guys. The contracts are so cheap. And if we're talking about a nice pullback on Friday with these extremely cheap contracts and SPY gaps up tomorrow with data decay, these are going to be even cheaper, guys. So the point is, one nice pullback on Friday, very lucrative return. Now, here's where the more easier money is, in my opinion. September 24th. I just think we're bound to see some sort of correction. So you really can't go wrong with September 24th. And I also think September 7th is a great option as well. So I'll be going with those 3 contracts. You can look to go in the money or out of the money on the put options. In terms of out of the money, don't go too far out. I wouldn't go too far out. In terms of like the furthest I would go out on these would be like $448, $447 for September 3rd, like $447, $446, and for September 24th, $435 would be the absolute like lowest. So those are the strike price. Those are the ones that I'm interested in. But guys, you see the pattern, you see the opportunity, you see the history that can potentially repeat itself. Is history always going to repeat itself? No, but I do believe this is a great opportunity to strike, to give a chance, to try. As I'm seeing this pattern really starting to come into existence, to fruition. So yeah, that's the play, and it's going to be on SPY put options. If you've been following this channel, I've mainly been doing calls in terms of, puts on this channel. I believe I've only had 2 put option trades on this particular channel. Robinhood puts, absolutely nailed it. And then also mRNA, Moderna puts, got them literally the day it topped, and those made 1,500%, 2,700 into like 42K, something like that. It's on the channel. But yeah, that's the pattern. That's the strategy. So we're looking for a gap up tomorrow, and then we're looking to accumulate puts options middle to the end of the day. And then from there, we're looking for a nice ride down, because I do believe September, the market is due for a correction of like, 5 to 10%. And history doesn't repeat itself to an exact T, but I do believe we're due due for some downside potential. I'm not expecting to have this massive crash 3 days in a row, but I am expecting this to head back towards like, 445 potentially early next week. And Friday should be a red day, so those put options should print as well. But yeah, and if Friday's put options didn't print, late September's should easily print. So I would recoup the losses easily. Just understand how to size and understand, the ones that are extremely risky are the ones that expire on Friday. But I do believe these should do very well, guys. It's just they're so cheap and it's due for a pullback. So in terms of like the timing of the situation, this is unreal. Like this opportunity is literally unreal. Because if you just look at it, like if the high were to be tomorrow, right? And then Friday's a red day, even if it's not a big red day, these put options are going to explode. So it's worth giving it a shot. This year you don't see me buying any put options on basically anything, and I'm not buying any put options on SPY. But in this particular situation, I think now's a good opportunity to give it a shot. And if it doesn't work out, then I'll look to try again on the next best opportunity. But yeah, I think stocks are due for a correction. I think this is, now a time to really try and give this opportunity a shot. And you don't have to go with like just SPY. There's other stocks. For example, Google is towards that keyhole round number of 3,000. Look what Google did as it follows the market. September of last year, September 2nd, this went to a high of 1726, crashed all the way down to 1,400. Same thing with Amazon. Imagine getting put options that were like 200 points out of the money weeklies. Those would easily be up 2,000% plus. Amazon, last year literally went to, 35.47, very similar move price is at right now towards dropped all the way to 28.50. So yeah, the opportunity is there. And in terms of put options, focus on stocks that are extremely overbought for the short term, that are pushing for new all-time highs. Don't focus on stocks that are towards oversold, like towards their key support levels like Alibaba. Focus on the ones that are extremely overbought, due for some correction. Not saying that Alibaba, is going to like follow the market and crash. It could too. It's just you want to focus on the ones that offer the biggest lucrative return, and those are going to be the ones that are towards the all-time highs that can really pull back. You don't want to be buying put options on oversold stocks, even if they follow the market and they're going to crash, if you think that's as well. So that will give you an idea on kind of what stocks to focus on. So yeah, guys, that's my plan, and I'll make an updated video tomorrow if I do enter those positions. But that's the plan, and it looks like I'm going to be doing it. I just really, in order for me to do it, I want to see SPY gap up tomorrow. That's what's really going to cause me to pull that trigger tomorrow, is if SPY gaps up tomorrow. That's going to be the key to this. As of now, it is currently up in after hours, so that's a good sign.